Before I came to TAF Academy, I actually wasn't interested in science whatsoever.
I saw myself as everything but a scientist.
I grew up in the Philippines. It was like a small city, a small village, and you didn't really think about all the possibilities of science.
And I've had a pretty big transition from that.
Well, I think one of the things that we do to engage kids in the entrepreneurial spirit is we let them have an opportunity to be the captain of their own learning.
I've been doing project-based learning for, it's my 6th year at TAF, so 6 years now, and for me it's an easier way to learn. You organize your own projects, you're given a task and you're told to complete it, and that's what's going to happen in the workforce.
I had to experience the traditional way of learning, which was sitting, reading a book, having lectures, but now we need to think in that sort of way to like how can we solve problems right now instead of just learning from a book.
You get to be able to have hands-on projects and technology, and TAF Academy is there to give you that how. You're not just looking, this is what I want to do, I'll probably do it in the future. It's just, this is what I want to do, can you help me do it now?
Our staff understands that you have to believe in every kid and you have to demonstrate that you believe in every kid.
It's sort of like this light that sort of goes off in a teacher's head where it's like, I can actually do what I've always wanted to do in the classroom. The project-based learning approach provides that sandbox in which to do things differently, using technology to really enhance what we want kids to know and be able to do in the classroom.
When they're exposed to us being creative, and then we have them do projects that are open and we give them autonomy to choose, like what happens with science fair, I think it primes them to start being creative themselves and to start looking at, well, what is it that I'm, passionate about.
At TAF, you definitely get that one-on-one connection with your teachers. I know I loved my teachers, and I felt like that's helped me grow a lot, just as a thinker and just as a person.
Students and teachers are kind of stepping out into this space where they have to take a risk around their practice.
What we believe, though, is that you have to be nimble, particularly if you're getting kids ready for the industries that we never even thought of before. So you have to be able to do things like send kids out during the week to go do research off the campus.
The TAF students are unique because I think they are imbued with the same philosophy that drives the school. They're open, they're independent, they have to think creatively and for themselves, and I like that about them.
Working at Hutch, I get to see what I want to do with my future, and I know for sure now that I want to go and to work at a research facility and solve real-world problems.
I wanted to focus on lung cancer because actually my grandmother has lung cancer, but she got it due to secondhand smoking. And of course I'm here at Fred Hutch, a cancer research center. So I thought, why not inform people about it since it is also preventable? So I thought I could make a difference that way.
When you look at all our projects and the work that kids do, it's all about having a level of significance in their community by making a difference in their community.
Hutch has changed my life the most, probably because it's set up my entire future. Just knowing that I'm being part of something like curing cancer, it's really changed the way I've looked at myself and how I've looked at the entire research community. I have now realized that it's not so far-fetched for me to become a scientist working in a lab. Before I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be like a big movie. It's like Dexter's laboratory, but I came in and I worked with it, and it's now Erica's laboratory.
When students of color are taught by teachers of color, it gives them a role model. Here's somebody that looks like me, that has had very similar life experiences, and it plants that seed in their head that somebody like me can do that and more.
Regardless of what limitations they may have had in terms of economic background or cultural barriers or geographical barriers, they're just far away from the action. All those barriers can be overcome to bring competent students with the aptitude to do science into the science arena.
You know, we keep talking about this whole competition with other countries in STEM, and what we're doing for kids of color and low-income kids is we're disqualifying them from the competition right from the very beginning. So the work that needs to be done is around recognizing that every single kid has their own genius, and how do you figure out how to get that out of them?
To me, making my family proud is a big thing for me. At the science fair, I did place third in the science fair competition, and my mom was very, very proud of me. And I've never really had that kind of accomplishment. So without that kind of opportunity from TAF Academy, that moment where I hugged her and everything got emotional, that would have never happened.
This is a future-oriented school. Here, I don't see my dreams or what it is that I'm thinking. I don't see them as just dreams.
We're not going to change all of public education, but we will go one school at a time as long as we're around, and we will continue to change hundreds and thousands of lives, because that's why we're here, right? This is in our DNA. This is what we do. And we are changing our own lives in the process.